The moon's surface trembled under a silent warning. Alien sensors blinked red across the command center, and a low hum filled the empty corridors. They had been waiting for a small human shuttle, nothing more. A routine inspection. A simple docking. But what appeared above the horizon shattered every expectation. A shadow moved against the stars, a shape far larger than any shuttle. Massive and sleek, it shimmered with polished metal that seemed almost alive, glowing faintly in patterns the aliens couldn't understand. One observer froze, antennae trembling. It's not a shuttle," it whispered. On the bridge, Captain Ronan Drake leaned forward, eyes narrowing. The sensors were wrong, the readings impossible. "Open communications," he barked, voice calm but firm. He had no time for hesitation. Every second mattered. Humans didn't wait, humans acted. A strange ripple of energy pulsed along the hull of the approaching ship. It wasn't part of the ship, they had never seen anything like it. It flickered like liquid light, hovering and twisting, almost sentient. The aliens recoiled in fear and awe. The energy seemed curious, as if it was examining them as much as the ship itself. Ronan didn't flinch. He moved quickly, issuing commands that sent robotic repair drones skimming along the battleship's surface. The drones sparked faintly when the energy touched them, and one burst into a shower of sparks. He frowned, then smiled slightly. "Interesting," he muttered. Humans had faced worse in the outer colonies. Adaptation was instinct. The alien fleet shifted nervously, forming a defensive line. They assumed the humans would panic, that their so-called shuttle would retreat. Instead, the battleship hovered in perfect calm, massive engines thrumming quietly, holding position like a predator waiting to strike. Every alien eye watched, tension coiling tight as a spring. Ronan stepped closer to the control panel, studying the anomaly. His fingers danced over the interface, tapping sensors and running diagnostics faster than any human should. The anomaly pulsed again, brighter this time, almost like a heartbeat. It responded to his touch, bending toward the ship as though recognizing him. A small voice came over the comm, "Captain, energy readings spiking. Might be unstable." The junior officer's tone was sharp, edged with fear. Ronan didn't hesitate. "Stabilize it. Adjust the containment field. Now." His voice carried calm authority. The officer obeyed instantly, rerouting power and tuning the field. Sparks leapt dangerously along the hull, and the anomaly shimmered violently, then steadied. A soft glow remained, a silent acknowledgement that humans had tamed the unknown. From the alien command deck, one of their generals hissed through translator notes. "Prepare weapons. That is not a shuttle. That is a weapon." Their message was filled with panic. The fleet shifted aggressively, readying energy cannons and missile pods. But the humans didn't move like prey, they moved like a storm. Ronan didn't raise shields or weapons yet. Instead, he pressed a series of commands that made the ship's hull ripple with an unearthly light, throwing the alien sensors into confusion. Drones that should have been destroyed by the energy pulse floated harmlessly past the anomalies, as if invisible. The alien observers blinked, trying to comprehend what they were witnessing. One ship fired preemptively, and its shot fizzled into nothingness. The anomaly stirred again. It was no longer just a threat or a curiosity. It danced around the ship like a ribbon of light, bending with purpose, drawing shapes the aliens couldn't predict. Ronan watched carefully. Every movement he made was precise, every reaction had a reason. He had a plan, but the anomaly was part of it now, a partner rather than a weapon. A sudden crack split the air. An alien scout ship shot straight toward the battleship, engines screaming. Human drones intercepted instantly, guiding it away with an invisible force. The alien craft spun out of control, careening toward the rocky surface below. The alien crew screamed in frustration. One tiny success for humanity, but enough to spark hope and fear in every observer. Ronan's eyes scanned the stars. "They think they know humans," he said softly to himself, voice carrying the weight of countless battles. "They're about to learn they don't." Then, without warning, the anomaly flared bright and shot forward like a bolt of lightning. It collided with the scout's wreckage and vanished into the void, leaving a ghostly trail in its wake. The aliens recoiled, confused, terrified. Something inside that energy was intelligent, powerful, and undeniably human in influence. The battleship's engines hummed louder. Ronan gave one last command to the crew. "All systems ready. Stay sharp. The real test starts now." Far above, alien eyes followed the glowing vessel, minds racing. What was humanity hiding? What kind of power could arrive in a shape like that? And why did the anomaly respond to the humans but not them? The questions hung in the void, unanswered, as the battleship began its slow, deliberate approach. Then a sudden ripple through space, a shockwave of light that no one expected, pushed the alien fleet back, a warning signal that humanity didn't bring a shuttle. Humanity brought something far greater. And in that moment, the entire command deck of the aliens fell silent. Something had changed. Something had arrived. And they were not ready. The alien fleet surged forward, engines roaring like a storm. Dozens of ships moved in coordinated formation, bristling with weapons far larger than any human drone. From the battleship's bridge, Ronan Drake's eyes flicked across the display. The odds were staggering, the numbers overwhelming, but he didn't hesitate. "Divert power to forward shields," he ordered, voice sharp. "Prepare intercept drones. Civilian sectors are in the line of fire." A young officer gulped, nerves tight. "Captain, they're too many, we can't hold them all." Ronan leaned closer, voice calm but firm. "We don't get to think about can't. We survive. We adapt. That's what humans do." Outside the viewport, the anomaly glowed brighter, twisting around the hull as if it understood every command. A ripple of light reached toward the nearest alien formation, and one ship shuddered violently, shields sparking, then fell back. The crew gasped. The anomaly wasn't just decoration, it was becoming a weapon or perhaps a partner. Suddenly, a blast of energy tore through the nearby asteroid belt. One of the alien cruisers fired preemptively, aiming at what it assumed was a weak point. Ronan's fingers flew over the console. The battleship tilted and the anomaly stretched, a stream of glowing energy intercepting the shot. The blast fizzled and disintegrated mid-air. "Good work," Ronan said quietly, almost to himself. The crew exchanged shocked glances. No human vessel should have done that. Yet here they were, defying every expectation. Then came the cries from the comm system. "Civilian colony under attack. They've broken through the outer patrols." Ronan's jaw tightened. The stakes had just doubled. He didn't pause. "Divert 20% of our drones to escort the colony. We move fast, precise. No civilian lost if we can help it." A pulse of light shot from the battleship, and the anomaly reacted instantly, weaving through the fleet with speed no human craft could match. Alien ships spun, disoriented, their targeting systems failing. One of them collided with a small moon, debris scattering in every direction. The aliens roared in frustration. Ronan smiled faintly. Humanity didn't just fight, it adapted, it improvised. "Captain, the anomaly, it's responding to tactical commands." "Not fully, but it's listening," the science officer reported, eyes wide. "It's intelligent." Ronan's expression didn't change, but inside, adrenaline surged. An intelligent ally of unknown origin was now on their side. "Then we use it," he said. "Every move we make, it supports. Let's turn their numbers against them." The battleship pivoted sharply, heading straight for a narrow canyon in the asteroid field. Alien ships followed blindly, thinking humans would flee. Instead, drones guided by the anomaly caused cascading collisions, asteroids slamming into enemy hulls. Explosions lit the void like fireworks, sending shards spinning into nearby ships. A junior officer cheered. "It's working. We're slowing them down." "Focus," Ronan snapped. "The colony still needs us. Every second counts." The anomaly pulsed again, sending a wave of light that interfered with enemy sensors. Alien pilots screamed as targeting displays went haywire. One dreadnought, the flagship, spun out of formation, exposed. Ronan noticed it immediately. He pressed a sequence of commands. A small squad of drones, previously hidden, surged forward and attached to weak points on the dreadnought's hull. Sparks flared. The massive ship shuddered. "Mini payoff achieved," Ronan muttered, eyes scanning. The dreadnought wasn't destroyed, but it had been crippled enough to slow the fleet's advance. A small victory but crucial. Hope flickered among the crew. Then, without warning, a strange resonance pulsed from the anomaly. The light around the battleship warped violently, and the sensors went haywire. An alien cruiser shot a beam directly at the glowing form, but the energy bent around the anomaly, deflecting harmlessly. Ronan's heart pounded. This was untested, unpredictable, and dangerous. Yet he didn't hesitate. Full throttle. Use the anomaly as shield and distraction. We move for the colony now. The battleship accelerated, weaving between asteroids, anomaly flaring with each maneuver. Alien fire missed, collided with debris, or fizzled entirely. Civilians below watched from the colony domes, panic giving way to awe as a massive human ship appeared like a guardian angel. A crew member gasped. "Captain, they're retreating?" Ronan shook his head. Temporary. They've been pushed back, yes, but they'll regroup. This isn't over. We just bought time. We protect, we survive, and we learn. Suddenly, a pulse of the anomaly shot toward a distant point in space, away from the colony. The crew froze. A soft hum filled the bridge. The light bent unnaturally, pointing to something they couldn't see. Ronan's jaw tightened. What is it seeing? The screen flickered. Sensors picked up a massive energy spike far beyond the fleet, hidden in the void. Not a ship, something else. Something enormous. Something that had been waiting. The anomaly pulsed again, faster, brighter, almost like a warning. The human crew exchanged uneasy glances. The aliens might have been defeated for now, but the real threat had just begun. Ronan's hand hovered over the controls. Everyone stay alert. This just got far bigger than we expected. And then, as the battleship turned to continue toward the colony, a shadow darker than space itself slid across the stars. Something moved with intent, fast and completely silent. The anomaly stiffened, glowing fiercely. The crew leaned forward, hearts racing. Whatever was out there, it wasn't waiting for a shuttle either. The anomaly flared, brighter than ever, and the battleship trembled under its energy. Ronan Drake's eyes scanned every sensor readout, trying to understand what it was detecting. Something massive, something alive, moved in the darkness beyond the distant stars. Not a ship. Something older, bigger than anything humans, or aliens, had faced before. Captain, the science officer gasped, voice tight. The energy spike, it's alive. Not machinery, not organic alone, it's something in between. Ronan didn't flinch. He leaned forward, fingers dancing across the control panel. Then we figure it out. We don't run from what we don't understand. Humans survive because we think, adapt, act. The anomaly pulsed again, circling the ship in arcs of liquid light. Ronan realized it wasn't just responding, it was trying to communicate, to warn them. He tapped a sequence of commands, sending an echo through the energy field. The anomaly pulsed back in patterns he began to recognize. Urgency, caution, intelligence. Communicate, the junior officer whispered. Yes, Ronan said, jaw tight. Not with words. With actions, signals, understanding. It's smarter than anything out here. Let's see how smart. They sent a probe into the energy spike, guided by the anomaly. It passed through the void, sensors screaming, data streaming faster than anyone could read. The anomaly reacted instantly, bending light around the probe, shielding it. For the first time, the crew felt the anomaly wasn't just a tool, it was an ally, maybe even a protector. Then the probe's feed revealed something impossible. Massive structures, ancient and jagged, floating in the void like ruins of a dead galaxy. Energy fields intertwined with them, pulsing rhythmically. And at the center, a colossal figure, faintly humanoid but impossibly vast, coiled in the energy currents. Its eyes, or what passed for eyes, glowed like suns, staring directly at the probe. The bridge went silent. Alien forces nearby had no idea this existed. Humans had stumbled into something they couldn't yet fight, and something that had been waiting for anyone to enter this sector. Captain, the science officer whispered, shaking. It's aware of us. Ronan's jaw tightened. Then we make it notice humans the right way. We survive, we adapt, we show intelligence. That's what we do. Before anyone could protest, the anomaly surged forward, its light extending in a protective wave around the battleship. Energy from the colossal figure struck the anomaly, and for a moment the ship rocked violently. Warning sirens blared. Crew members were thrown from their stations. Sparks flew across the bridge. Status? Ronan barked. Shields holding but weakening, shouted the weapons officer. Energy signature of unknown origin is overwhelming conventional defenses. Ronan's mind raced. A normal human reaction would be fear, panic. He felt the rush, but he didn't allow it to dictate action. Humans survived impossible odds by thinking faster, acting smarter. Target the pulse vectors, he said, tapping commands that rechanneled energy from every drone, every secondary system, and combined it with the anomaly's guidance. The anomaly pulsed in response, bending light and energy like a conductor leading an orchestra. A narrow channel of control opened. The colossal figure hesitated, as if sensing strategy rather than aggression. The aliens watching from afar could not comprehend this. The humans were not attacking blindly, they were negotiating survival with brilliance. Suddenly the alien fleet reappeared in the viewport, regrouped, but Ronan noticed something strange. Their dreadnought, previously crippled, had shifted formation. They were no longer aggressive, they were cautious, almost reverent, sensing the larger force beyond them. The humans, using intelligence and courage, had changed the battle before it even began. Ronan glanced at the anomaly. It pulsed rapidly, almost like a heartbeat. He realized something extraordinary. It wasn't just an ally. It could interpret strategy, understand danger, and respond faster than any human or alien command. And it had chosen to trust humans. "Prepare drones for coordinated strike," he said, eyes cold and determined. "We can't fight the ancient force head-on, but we can manipulate the aliens. By time, shield the colony and learn what we're really up against." The crew moved quickly, adrenaline sharpening every movement. Drones scattered in precision patterns, drawing enemy fire, creating channels for the battleship to maneuver. Each strike disrupted alien formations, forcing them to hesitate. The anomaly guided them with perfect timing. Small victories accumulated, confidence rising with every clever maneuver. Then, without warning, the colossal figure emitted a pulse that sent the battleship spinning violently. Sensors overloaded. Communications flickered. The anomaly screamed in light, almost as if in pain, but held the ship together. Ronan gritted his teeth, adjusting controls to compensate. "Brace for impact. Focus on the anomaly. It's our shield, our guide, our ally. Every move counts." For a tense moment, the bridge was chaos. Alarms, sparks, the ship tilting in the void. Then the pulse subsided. The anomaly glowed faintly, intact, and the colossal figure receded slightly, its presence looming but patient, observing. The crew stared at the sensor readouts. The ancient entity had revealed part of itself, but not all. Its intentions were unclear, yet one thing was certain. The humans were alive because they acted with courage and intelligence, and because they understood the anomaly in a way the aliens never could. Ronan exhaled slowly. "We've survived this encounter. Not by luck, but by thought, skill, and trust." Then the anomaly pulsed sharply again, pointing toward a distant region of the void. A new spike of energy appeared, faint but unmistakable. This one was moving fast, deliberately. It was smaller than the colossal entity but faster and intelligent. The aliens recoiled instinctively, but the humans had no time to watch. Ronan's jaw tightened. "That's our next problem. Prepare all systems. This is far from over." The bridge went silent except for the hum of the anomaly and the battleship's engines. Outside, the void held its secrets, waiting. The humans had survived, but the turning point was clear. The real threat wasn't the alien fleet. It was something older, faster, and smarter, and it had just noticed them. The second energy spike raced toward the battleship, a streak of unnatural light slicing through the void. Sensors screamed, alarms blaring, and crew members braced themselves as the hull trembled. The anomaly flared violently, wrapping around the ship like a living shield. Ronan Drake's jaw tightened. This was no ordinary enemy, it was clever, fast, and intelligent. And humans didn't back down. "Full evasive maneuver," Ronan barked, slamming his hands over the controls. The battleship twisted through asteroid fragments, engines roaring, narrowly avoiding collisions. Alien ships fired blindly, missing by meters as their targeting systems struggled to cope with the chaotic movement. "Captain, the anomaly's energy is spiking uncontrollably," the science officer shouted, fear lacing her voice. "It might destabilize the ship." Ronan's eyes flicked to the glowing form coiling around the hull. "Not if we direct it. Focus all systems through the anomaly. Every pulse, every movement, it's our advantage. Trust it." A flash of light tore across the viewport. The spike struck the anomaly, sending arcs of energy cascading along the battleship. Sparks flew, panels exploded, and the ship shuddered violently. Crew members were thrown from their stations, faces pale with shock. Ronan slammed his palm onto a console, rerouting power instantly. The anomaly pulsed, then stabilized. It wasn't just surviving the hit, it was learning. "Divert weapons to precision microstrikes," Ronan ordered. "We don't destroy, we manipulate. We survive, we win, and we protect." Drones launched from the battleship, guided by the anomaly's light. They weaved through the void, colliding with enemy ships in perfect timing, forcing alien vessels apart. One drone embedded in a dreadnought's hull and detonated, tearing a massive hole that sent debris spinning into the formation. Alien crews screamed in confusion. "Mini payoff achieved," a crew member shouted, adrenaline high. "We've broken their line." Ronan's eyes never left the energy spike approaching fast. "Focus on the anomaly. Every move counts. Predict, respond, survive." The anomaly responded instantly, stretching into arcs of energy that bent light and gravity around the spike. It redirected the incoming force, sparing the ship, and then pulsed outward in a dazzling display that disoriented alien sensors. The colossal entity they had seen earlier shimmered in the distance, watching but not yet intervening. Its presence was like a weight pressing against the crew's minds, a reminder that even their daring maneuvers were small against the universe's power. Ronan felt it but didn't falter. Humans thrived in impossible odds. Fear would not dictate their actions. "Captain," the weapons officer said, voice tight, "the spike is changing course. It's reacting to the anomaly, almost as if it recognizes us." Ronan's heart pounded. "Then let it recognize who we are," he said quietly. "Humans adapt. Humans survive. Humans fight with brains and courage." He initiated a maneuver that no standard protocol would recommend. The battleship dove directly toward the spike, engines flaring like a comet. Drones streamed alongside, forming a living web of lights. The anomaly pulsed, synchronizing with every movement. Alien ships scrambled, unable to respond. The spike collided with the web of drones and the anomaly simultaneously. The impact sent a shockwave through the void. Alarms screamed. The bridge shook violently, panels falling, sparks dancing across the walls. Crew members gripped consoles, faces pale but determined. The spike struggled, pulsing against the anomaly's energy. For a heartbeat, everything seemed lost. Then the anomaly flared brighter than ever before. It bent the spike's energy back toward the void, sending it spiraling away, harmless for now. The battleship stabilized, systems humming with renewed strength. The crew stared at the sensors, breathing heavily, hearts pounding, adrenaline surging. They had faced the impossible, and survived. Ronan exhaled, voice calm but heavy with intensity. "That's what humans do. We don't run. We don't panic. We think. We act. We survive." The anomaly wrapped tighter around the ship, pulsing in what felt like satisfaction. It had protected them, guided them, and countered a force no one else could. The crew exchanged stunned looks. This wasn't luck. It was courage, intelligence, and the instinct to act decisively under pressure. Humans had turned a near-impossible scenario into a controlled engagement. A sudden alert blinked on the main console. Another energy spike, smaller but faster than the first, appeared at the edge of sensor range. The anomaly reacted instantly, twisting violently, glowing brighter. The crew froze, hearts racing again. Ronan's eyes narrowed. "Another one?" a young officer whispered. "Always another challenge," Ronan said, jaw tight. "But we adapt. We survive. We fight smarter, faster, and harder than anything else. That's humanity." He leaned forward, fingers hovering over the controls. The battleship hummed with energy, the anomaly pulsating like a heartbeat. Outside, the void shimmered, a silent stage for the next confrontation. Alien ships watched, hesitant now, unsure of the humans they had underestimated. Ronan's voice cut through the tension. "All systems ready. Drones at maximum efficiency. Anomaly fully engaged. We move on my mark. Prepare for the next wave." And then the view outside shifted. A massive shadow swept across the stars, larger than any fleet, faster than any known propulsion. It was intelligent. It was deliberate. It was coming straight for them. The anomaly pulsed violently, almost warning them. The crew's eyes widened in terror and awe. Ronan's jaw tightened. "Hold your ground. Humans don't retreat. Not now. Not ever." The battleship lurched forward, engines roaring. The crew gripped consoles. The anomaly flared around the hull, light bending and twisting in impossible patterns. The void had grown darker, more dangerous, but humanity was ready. The stage was set. The impossible was here. And humans were not afraid. The void shimmered with danger, but Ronan Drake didn't flinch. The massive shadow of the intelligent force loomed ahead, faster and more deliberate than anything humans, or aliens, had faced. The battleship's hull thrummed with energy, the anomaly coiling tightly around it, a living shield. Crew members gripped their stations, eyes wide, hearts pounding. Fear was present, yes, but it didn't rule them. Humans never allowed fear to dictate their actions. "Status," Ronan barked, voice calm, sharp. "Where's the anomaly reading?" "Captain," the science officer replied, breath quick. "It's responding in real time. Almost predicting the force's moves. I've never seen anything like this. It's adapting." Ronan's jaw tightened. He leaned forward. "Then we adapt with it. Humans survive by thinking, acting, and never giving up. Full forward thrust. Drones engage at maximum. Anomaly guide every pulse." The massive energy forms surged toward them, rippling the void like a predator stalking prey. Alien ships had already begun retreating, unsure how to react. Humans were alone, but the anomaly was on their side, its light bending, twisting, shielding, and attacking all at once. A sudden pulse struck the battleship. The hull shuddered violently. Sparks flew, panels cracked, alarms screamed. Crew members were thrown off balance. Ronan slammed his hand on the console. Compensate for hull stress. Redirect all auxiliary power to shields. The anomaly flared, forming a radiant cocoon around the ship. It absorbed the incoming force, pulsing violently, then released the energy in a controlled wave that pushed the threat backward. The crew stared in awe. It wasn't just a shield, it was a partner. A protector. A testament to human courage and ingenuity. "Captain," the weapons officer shouted, "we can exploit the force's momentum. If we strike in sync with the anomaly's pulses, we can force it to scatter." Ronan nodded, voice steady. "Do it. Precision. Calculated. No panic. Every move counts. Humans win through action and thought, not fear." The drones surged forward, weaving through space like threads in a tapestry. Each pulse from the anomaly synchronized with the ship's attacks, guiding microstrikes that forced the massive entity to swerve and hesitate. It wasn't destroying the enemy, but it was shaping the battlefield, bending the impossible into manageable odds. A junior officer gasped. "Captain, the colony below. It's safe. The anomaly is shielding them too." Ronan's eyes softened just slightly. Humanity fought not for glory, not for conquest, but to protect life. Good. That's why we fight. That's why we survive. The energy force pulsed again, faster this time, stronger. The anomaly screamed in light, wrapping tighter around the battleship. It was a struggle, but the crew felt a surge of confidence. Humans thrived where others would falter. Courage, intelligence, compassion, and determination, they had all become weapons stronger than any fleet. Then, without warning, the force split into smaller arcs, retreating into the void. The anomaly pulsed, and the ship remained intact. The alien fleet watched in disbelief. Humans had survived an encounter no one else could have endured. "Captain, it's gone. For now," the science officer whispered. Ronan exhaled slowly. "Not gone. Waiting. Observing. But humans survived. Humans adapted. Humans stood when everyone else would have fallen." The crew cheered quietly, relief flooding through them. Their victory wasn't complete. They hadn't destroyed the massive force, but they had survived, protected the colony, and proven that humans could face impossible odds and come out alive. The anomaly pulsed one last time, wrapping around the ship in a gentle glow. It seemed to acknowledge the crew, then drifted slightly toward the distant void. Ronan's eyes followed it. "We may not understand it yet," he said, voice low, "but it knows we are worthy. That's something no one else would have survived. No one else would have acted like humans." The aliens, still scattered in retreat, began transmitting messages of confusion and awe. Humans had not only survived, they had imposed intelligence, strategy, and adaptability onto the battlefield. The galaxy had noticed. Ronan walked through the bridge, nodding at each crew member. "Every move you made mattered. Every calculation, every choice, every second of courage, you all did what humans do best. We survive. We adapt. We protect. And we rise against impossible odds." A final alert blinked across the console. Sensors had detected a faint signature far in the void, smaller than the colossal entity, but moving intelligently, steadily, deliberately. The anomaly pulsed, alerting them. Ronan's eyes narrowed, lips pressing into a thin line. "Another one," he muttered. "Another challenge. But humans, we never run. We never hide. We meet it head-on and we survive." The battleship shifted course, engines humming with renewed energy. The crew prepared for whatever came next. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, hiding mysteries, dangers, and unknown forces. But humans had survived the impossible today, and that survival had meaning. Courage, intelligence, morality, and determination, the very essence of humanity, had prevailed. The anomaly pulsed one last time, faintly guiding the ship forward. Ronan's hand rested lightly on the console, a steady anchor in the chaos of the void. "We don't know what's out there," he said quietly, almost to himself, "but we will face it, and we will prevail. That's what it means to be human." Outside, the void shimmered, the distant energy signature moving closer, silent and patient. The anomaly had prepared them, humans had survived, and the galaxy was watching. And somewhere, far in the darkness, a hidden presence stirred, larger, older, and intelligent beyond comprehension, hinting that humanity's journey was only beginning.